really good card. Come on. Oh my god! Wow!
Let's make me food.
Hello and welcome to the video. I am on my way to go and play EPT Prague, and this is my last chance to make it, a good poker year. This year's had a lot of nearly misses. I've done a lot of trips, I've had a lot of deep runs, and I've had a lot of sweats for something which is meaningful, but nothing which is really that score, that memorable score of the year. So this trip's my last chance to change that. You know what tournament poker variance is like? It's most likely that I won't, but I'm gonna stay optimistic and I am ready to run hot and finally have that substantial score for 2024. A quick catch up with the first few days. Flying from Japan meant there was a lot of jet lag. I woke up, I went to max late register 1K, promptly lost the flip to bust, and then I played the satellite. My last EPT, played 3 satellites to the main and 1 satellite to the 10K. One of them, I got it in pre with aces and for a seat and lost, and the other 3 I stone bubbled. One of them also all in pre with aces.
Well, boo fucking who?
I've been running pretty atrociously in these satellites, and I managed to bubble another one, so I'm adding to that like poker trauma of I am cursed in these satellites, I can't win them.
Homer, it's that evil gypsy's curse.
That's part of the fun, right? Just battling these narratives and going at it again despite the fact that my mind is like, no, you're not gonna win, but gotta win eventually, eh?
This is my lucky day!
Find the positivity in the ridiculous experiences. And then the day after, I played the 500 big field tournament twice and busted twice. I played a satellite to the 2K, which I won. I won my 500 to like 2.2K seat, but then I did 2 bullets in the 2K and didn't make it. So this trip was going pretty atrociously so far. Now it was time to play the main event. And the main event is a 7-figure first prize tournament. It's a 6 to 7 day tournament. It's the one that you want to run good in. It's the chance to turn it around.
The day is approaching to give it your best, and you've got to reach your prime. That's when you need to put yourself to the test and show us a passage of time. We're gonna need a montage.
Today was day 3 of the EPT main. Day 1, I think I played good. I busted my first bullet pretty quickly. 4-bet called 70 bigs with queens and he had kings. Second bullet, my very first hand. It goes open from a recreational player, EP. He's pretty tight from my impression. Button calls, he opens to 1100 at 400. I call the big blind with ace queen off, pretty deep. It comes king, queen, queen. I'm feeling really good. Everyone checks, the turn is a 6. There's a flush draw. I bet 40% pot, 1600. Pre-flop raiser calls, the other guy folds. And then the river's a 7. I'd be 10.5k out of my 25k, and he puts me all in. Now bluff catcher, he has king, queen, king, 7, 6s, or maybe a bluff with a king, but I didn't think he was capable, so I just folded. I don't think he jams ace queen for value as well. He was nice enough to show me he had kings, so that was a good fold for my tournament life. The rest of the day went pretty well. Ended up bagging a big stack, 90 bigs, 134k. I had a really big spot, queens all in against ace king suited, and that was to go runaway table chip lead, but I lost. And then approaching the bubble, I had to play pretty snug. Ended up cashing with a relatively short stack. Going back to day 3 today, I have really low expectations because I have 15 blinds and it's still really early in the tournament. I'm obviously just gonna be happy to get it in if it's a good spot. I get queens open, the blinds call. It comes like 9, 6, 4, I think, flush draw. I bet, small blind calls, big blind raises. I run it, small blind folds, and he has jack 9 suited. That's a nice turn. So I double up, and then I get queens again a few hands later, which is just, I just raise and take, but the sign of things to come. And then Santa comes to the table. I'm sitting next to the star sponsored player, Adam Macolo. A guy dressed as Santa comes over to the table and just gives him a present, something wrapped in like PokerStars wrapping paper, which everyone thought was funny. One guy even made the comment at the table that isn't Santa supposed to give presents to everyone?
Mistletoe is no match for my toe missile.
And the dealer made a joke saying, well, it's because obviously everyone else has been naughty. He's the only one that deserves a present. And then the very next hand after Santa leaves, the guy that made the complaint gets aces and stacks on one.
That's what you get.
There's a running joke at the table that, oh, that was his present. He got aces and stacks on one. And then the very next hand I get aces, and then the very next hand I get aces again, and I win like a medium pot. Queens, queens, aces, aces in like the first 30 minutes. Then I call to someone, pocket fives against king queen on king king 8 turn 5 when he checked back the flop. Then I get kings 2 times, 3-bet squeeze button versus hijack and cutoff, and he 4-bet rips 40 bigs with ace queen. Okay. So I get up to like nearly 800k at one point, which is 100 bigs. It was going great. I get a similar spot to the spot I had on day one, where I'm against the guy who's been playing super snug. I have jack 9 suited and basically get to the river on jack 8 5 flush draw, turn king, river jack, flush draw misses. I already thought he had a pretty good hand from the way he played the hand. He led flop, led turn, and then he jams 2 times pot on the river. I just fold. And he was nice enough to show me a pocket fives, so I dodged another call there where I could have lost a bigger pot. And then I have another good level, so penultimate level of the day I have 955k, going back to 12k big blind, and then so I open with aces. Reg makes it 75k, I cover him, he has 700k. Then the French guy in the big blind goes all in for 204k. I give it a bit of Hollywood and call, thinking this guy's now still going to back jam if he has like queens, ace, king, or kings. He folds, said he had king, queen suited. French guy's going in with ace, queen suited, which I think is reasonable. It's probably the worst hand I would always jam. And very unfortunately I lost that one. That was a 500k pot, which would have put me on like nearly 1.5 million. In the end, I bagged 460,000 chips going into day 4, which was far from the peak in day 3. And I did start to run quite a lot worse towards the end of the day, but you've just got to be there for when the heater starts. It doesn't really matter how many chips you've got at any point. You can just begin that insane run where you just win all these all-ins, or you call at people left, right, and center. You've just got to play the stack you've got, and I know exactly how to play the stack, and I'm still feeling optimistic this might be the run. So today was day 4 of the main. Expectations were low, but the potential was huge. First orbit was pretty uneventful, although I did find myself doing a huge bluff with 3 high, which luckily got through. So I had 10 to 20 bigs for quite a while. Last hand before the break, second break, what on loss opens under the gun 7-handed, and I have pocket 7s in the small blind. I decided to jam 16.5 bigs, which I think is pretty standard. I think he's going to open correctly, and I think he's going to slightly overfold because he knows he has an edge, and he might open slightly wider. You know, last time before the break, we're about to go on feature after the break as well. People are kind of like already leaving the table, and he makes the cycle with ace queen off. 330.
330. Right.
Good luck.
Good luck.
7.
7.
7.
That was the end of my EPT during this year. Cash for about 23,000 euros. Can you complain? Would have liked to go further, but you know, I had a good time. Enjoyed all of it. Then I jumped in the 1650 mystery bounty and turned my 30k into 360k for day 2 and bounties tomorrow. Just great. I played 9 tournaments without cashing, and then have a deep run in the main, jump into the next tournament with 30 bigs and just bag over average in the money. You're running good or you're running bad, and I'm in the upswing now, so hopefully tomorrow is good and I have a nice deep run and some bounty sweats. And little did I know how good that tournament really would go on to be.
What a bloody day. I don't even know where to start. So I started the day, 360,000, second in chips on my table, average is 200k. Playing the mystery bounty, there's still 107 people left, I think. Biggest bounty's 35k, there's 2 of them. My expectations are pretty low, you know, mystery bounties. There's one guy with 2 bigs, and one guy covers me, so there's a chance I'm just out first hand if he goes in, and we both just find like decent hands. But yeah, first time that guy does go in, and it goes call. I call with jack 7 offsuit. We go full way to the flop. I end up making a straight and chopping it with someone else. So we chop a bounty. The lowest bounty is 1k. There's a 500 draw again. And we pull a 1k. So the bounty is actually so low that they have to add another row to the list of bounties. And then a few hands later, I get dealt aces, and someone's open jammed 18 bigs in front of me. Obviously, I call. He has king 10 off, and I hold, so I get a bounty and a big pot there, which is pretty nice. And then I'm like joint chip leader at the table. One guy like just goes ahead of me. We actually made the joke, kept saying like who covers who, and then he went ahead of me because I like 3-bet folded. He was like, I cover you now. Cover me by like 1 big blind, and then it folds to me in the small blind with king 5 off. I limpy checks. Comes king 10 5 flush draw. I bet one big blind. He raises pretty big in position to 45k. It's kind of dangerous to do that because I can have kings and tens and he can't. The king 10 suited, he probably raises covering me pre. Pocket fives, he might even raise sometimes, we're so deep. So I call with my top and bottom pair. I'm still confident he might have king 10 off here. He might have pocket fives, possible. The turn is an 8, starts 2 flush draws, which I don't interact with, I check. And now he tanks for ages and bets 90k. And I decided that he covers me. I think if he does have 10-5, he can't fold. And if he has like king jack or like some sort of combo draw, I'm happy for him to fold because then I just go pretty big table chip lead if he folds, or if he calls, I'm getting it in good. And sometimes I'm get coolered, but I think there's just too many bad rivers that are gonna kill my action. My hand's just too good. So I jam, he goes into the tank for ages and he wasn't sure what to do. I was like, come on, what have you got? And he goes, I've got a good hand. So I said, it can't be that good, you would call me by now. Which I was kind of being genuine there. And I said, well, you must have a worse hand than aces, basically implying that I would always jam with aces, and that's not strictly true. I think I would call with aces unless I have, maybe I've had the exact suits that are like different to the board, but then I also might check raise the flop, and I just might do a few things different with aces, so it's unlikely I've got them, to be honest. So like ace king, I think I might just call on the turn if I got there this way, and then he ends up calling off and he has 10-5, which it is a cooler. I don't think he can really get away. And then I hold, he's only got 2 outs, so I win like a million chip pot, and I don't get a bounty, but he's got like 1 big blind left. And then we break table immediately, so I don't get a chance for his bounty. So I'm running super hot. I get kings open, guy tanks for like 2 minutes and 3 bets. I 4-bet, he goes all in, I call, and he has aces.
Oh, that's a pretty good window. Wow.
That's really good.
And so yeah, that's how high I'm running at this point.
He's being shy.
Yeah.
Oh, that way? I swear. Now it was time to really bring in the big guns for my second mystery bounty pull. I can't seem to pull them myself, but this guy is a professional. If anyone's going to find the big bounty, it's him. Is that better?
How do you already know?
How can you see that?
How did you know?
At one point, I jam ace king off for like 12 bigs in the small blind. The big blind calls with ace jack suited.
Queen. You have hearts too. Nice hand.
At no point, I'm like table chip lead, last 2 tables or last 3 tables. We're short-handed. I open with kings. Small blind jams 20 blinds. I obviously call with kings. He has ace 8 suited, which I think is pretty reasonable. I'm opening wide. I'm going to mostly fold. The bounty's not as substantial at this point.
Good luck. Wow.
Wow.
It's the most exciting flop you could have found. Quads? Just quads? Hey, yeah. Nice hand.
I was running good, but I wasn't just winning every hand. I think at this point, I begin the most unreal run of poker in all of history. So someone jams 10 bigs, I look down at aces, absolutely living the dream, I call, and then a player behind with 50 bigs looks at their hand and starts tanking. And in these moments, you are just saying to yourself, come on, please jam, please jam. He jams, I obviously find the snap call with aces.
This is a big one. This is a big one. Hold. Come on. Come on, come on. Yes.
You can even hear it in my voice. This is a huge pot. This is like a 6 million chip pot. Like 1 big blind left to lose this hand. And now I'm huge table chip leader and I get a double knockout. And there's a 35k bounty still in play. So the EV of this hand just is ridiculous.
What am I going for? 500. And draw again. Oh, that's the one I wanted.
Yeah.
Sick. Pot of greed.
I summon Pot of Greed to draw 3 additional cards from my deck.
1,000. Okay.
And I summon Pot of Greed to draw 3 additional cards from my deck. Then
Be exciting. Okay, I'll take that.
A few orbits fast, and then again, someone jams 10 bigs. I look down at the button, and I have aces again. The exact same things happen again. For the 3rd time in this tournament, someone's gone all in, and I look down at aces, covering for a bounty.
Lucky day, lucky day, lucky day.
So I call, because again, second in chips at the table has about 2.7 million, and they're in the big blind. And the other guy who's like third in chips at the table has about 2.2 million. He's still at the table. So if one of them finds like jacks, ace king, ace queen, like these start hands blind, they can go all in and I can just win the omega pot. So I called. I even like nearly got my phone out before they active because I was like, it's not going to happen again. No way. And I'm ready to film the all in. The big blind starts tanking. He's second in chips and he says all in. He says all in for 2.7 million. As second in chips at the tournament, I've got 6.5 million. I've got aces.
This is unreal. This is absolutely unreal. Oh my god. Oh my god.
It happened twice. It went all in 10 bigs. I have aces. I called. Second in chips at the tournament with 50 to 60 bigs, back jams, and has either kings or queens. And I hold for a double knockout. It happened twice within an hour. Last 3 tables and last 4 tables. We get to the final table with 9, and I have 5 bounties to pull. I have half the chips in play, or pretty much half the chips in play. 10.4 million out of like 21.2 million chips in play. The next biggest stack is like 2.4 million. So it's my tournament to lose at this point. I'm going to win it about 60 to 70% of the time, probably, maybe more. I'm going to win like so many bounties so frequently at this point. And it's just so likely I get the 35k. So I pull my 5 bounties. I don't know if it's like a 1 in 4 chance to get in the 35k at this point, but there's also like 10k and a 5k and some other good ones. 5 in the middle. All right, I'm gonna do quick 5. Ready?
How long is this going to take?
Come on, focus.
Last one.
Focus, okay, sorry.
Okay, look, now you focus. Focus more.
Focus.
Oh, one more.
Come on, man, come on.
Come on.
Oh, that's impressive, right?
The odds are really...
So my bounty pulls were still on unusual par. Honestly, at the final table of 9, I'm VPIPing most of the deck because I cover everyone so much, and the pay jumps are now pretty big. There's still like 125k for first in the normal part of the tournament, which is much more important than bounties now. And there's so many super short stacks, so I get to really go pretty nuts here. I was opening queen free suited under the gun, 800 at one point, but I was the most card dead I was in the whole tournament. I probably VPIPed like less than 20% just because I was getting dealt 8-3 off, 8-2 off, 4-2 off, which is kind of nice in some ways because then the table gets the impression that I'm a passive chip leader. So then when I do have the hands, which I'm going to be overly aggressive with, they might give me a little bit more respect, which is kind of nice in some ways. It took ages to get from 8 to 7, but then people kind of flew out pretty quickly.
Good luck. Good start. Good luck. Oh, like that. 5 ball. Hey, nice one.
I open jammed on the button for like 20 bigs with jack 8 suited and someone found kings.
Yeah, spade. Nice one.
That was unfortunate. The only regs left were to my right, while there's one good player to my left. The rest of them were recreational players, so I didn't want to like do these massive 40 big blind jams if someone got that big, but when it was like 20 and I had the right hands, I was still taking it.
Here, the big blind was forced all in, so I went for the min raise with 5 deuce offsuit, thinking people are playing too passively, maybe I can get away with it. I probably wouldn't have done this online, but people just want the pay jumps at this point too, and then I get to go heads up for a bounty when the big blind can have any 2 cards.
You'll have to face my secret weapon.
Come on, Ryan. Come on, Ryan. Come on, Ryan. Oh, you're the worst.
This didn't turn out the way I had planned.
It was still action behind.
Ace 5 of clubs. King Jack of spades. Oh, sweaty. Club. Oh, oh, I like the way they're laid out.
Wow, 0. It's pretty big.
That's the way to sort it. A lot of this final table really was me just playing some pretty loose ranges, ending up all in versus someone that has less than 7 bigs, and just kind of running it. I was all in so many times, but it was always for such a small amount of chips that it didn't even impact my stack at all.
I mean, you already got it. I feel like
You happy with this one?
it would be sacrilegious to pick something else.
Hey,
We got to free-handed, and then that's when things first started to go a little bit badly. I jam ace 10 off, guy calls with ace queen.
Only 9 call.
ace queen. 10 ball, corner pocket. Oh, spade. There's no chops, is there? 6? No.
Free-handed goes on for a while, it's kind of back and forth.
Good luck. Oh, not yet. Not yet. Oh, just 3 outs. Hey, nice hand.
There's a few hands that didn't quite go my way, so I did from like 16 million out of the 21 in play down to about 10 million. The other guy busts the other player, and then he takes a slight chip lead before we go heads up. And there's 7 minutes left of the clock. I think he's been playing quite tight, but it's because he has to. And I haven't got a good sense of how he plays completely yet, but he seems pretty solid. Slightly on the tighter side, so I was like, should I play this heads up? Because the 35k bounty is still in play. At this point, there's 2 bounties, and we know one's 35k. So we're playing heads up not only for a 50k pay jump or 45k pay jump, whatever it is, but also a 35k bounty. So the heads up's huge. So he said, do you want to do a deal straight away? And I was like, yeah, but I basically said, let's wait till the break, because I just wanted to get a kind of feel. I don't know. I felt like it made more sense to wait to the break. That's what my gut said, even though it probably makes sense just to ICM straight away because we're still playing for a lot. And then first hand of heads up, I raised to 700k, 150, 300, playing with big blind ante. He calls, it comes 7-4-2, rainbow. I bet on the big side, about 1.4 into 1.7. He tanks for a while and calls. And he tanked for so long, I thought, it's not a trap. He calls. The turn pairs the 2 and starts a flush draw, and I don't have the jack of flush draw, so now I think my jacks are just too strong, so I bet geometric, I bet half pot, set up a half pot jam on the river, and I'm jamming most rivers. And then he goes all in, and I'm not feeling good about it, but I'm just never folding bucket jacks. It's heads up. He might jam with top pair. He might have bucket 8s. He might have some draws. I'm just never going to consider folding this hand, so I snap call. And he has 5-2 suited. Basically, he covers me by about 3 million chips. And after saying no to a deal, I've now got it in for what is effectively like, I think it's like at least an 80k swing. And I have 2 outs.
Oh my God. Wow.
Let's make me foot.
Wow.
Hi, Dad.
Hi.
I don't really need your help, but I just wanted to let you know that I'm going to win the $1 million.
If I brick this 2 outer, I just come second and that's it. Then very next hand of heads up, he jams 10.1 bigs and I have king 2 off. And annoyingly, like I knew that this was a call, and I think he might be tilted, so I should call wider. But if there was no big blind ante, I would fold. It's just about a call. It's close. If I thought he was really bad, I would fold and edge pass, but I took the gamble.
Good luck.
So I was 1 card away from taking down the title there. I double him up. We look at the numbers. We agreed to do ICM. I take about 108 or 109,000 euros. He takes the rest, which I think is probably close to 90,000. And we're playing for 36.5k. The heads up battle is kind of grueling. I'm pretty fortunate that with live, I've won most of my big heads ups. But I usually come in with a big chip lead and a good like intel on my opponent. But this time I didn't have that much intel and it was back and forth. I lose a few hands. He jams 13.5 bigs and I pocket 2s. And again, I thought it was close, but because he isn't necessarily a bad player, I think he was good actually. So I took the gamble with 2s. I think he's still going to jam like king 2 suited and ace 2, and like with the big blind ante, I think I can't fold. We're playing 15-minute blinds now.
So because we decided at the beginning of the event,
That brought it back and forth again, and then I ran a pretty big bluff that didn't work. I have 7 million, 6.95 million. He open jams. He tanks the big blind went up on me, which is a bit annoying. Big blind ante means it's pretty big, but he was doing that a few times, and it's part of the game, you know. He jams what is my like 11.6 bigs. I call it king 6 suited.
Finger 6 minus dealer. Oh, that's not good. That's not good at all. Oh, diamond.
So I lost the heads up for 36.5k, but I still got the most in the tournament. I still took like 145k, which is just absolutely unreal, my biggest ever score. I'm freezing doing this update, so I'm gonna finish now. That's the end of the Prague trip. I had like a 6 start, lost 9 tournaments in a row, bought the satellite, was getting dusted, busted the main, lost half my stack in the main, and then deepest run in the main, followed immediately by what is my biggest personal ever score because of my percentage. I don't know if you can tell, but I'm just high. high on running good at poker. I didn't get the trophy, I didn't get the title, but it's just sick. It's just sick how things can change so quickly. This game sometimes is beautiful, and today is one of the, well, yesterday is one of those days. I've slept since now, but still feeling great. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video, and hope there's many more runs and sweats to come. And one day, I'll get a big bounty.
That's what it do, Yugi!
That does what it do.